Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Alright, so the Green Rocket, as we call her, she's a lesser Sunda Island pit viper, a blue insularis, but she happened to be a green phase that came out. She's been off feed for a very long time, and we're wondering why. Well, if we look in the cage, there's a ton of slugs, and this species is known to be parthenogenic. So this is looks like a malformed or almost formed, we'll have to look at it, baby from Parthenogenics. Means that she's never been with a male, and unfortunately this little guy didn't quite make it. Now, if there's one, there could be others, so we're going to go through the cage with a fine-tooth comb. Unfortunately, she needs to come out for me to safely do that. Well, that's really sad. Let me get my other glasses. You know, I'm sort of thinking, is it moving or not? Its mouth is open. It's sort of malformed. So let's have a look at it. Hi, I'm very sorry you didn't quite make it. But yes, this is a parthenogenic baby, virgin birth, if you will. The Green Rocket has never been with a male. I didn't pair her with any of the males that I had this year. Matter of fact, I only paired one set of male and female, and I haven't seen any babies since. Nothing has been given birth so far. I want to take of course, photo document this in addition to that. So this is quite interesting, and actually I have some colleagues that study parthenogenic snakes. They may want me to preserve that so they can look at its DNA and compare it to the mother, because parthenogenic birth usually entails that the offspring is going to be female, and it's going to be a clone of the female. However, I just did recently read a paper where a copperhead had parthenogenic birth and actually also produced the male snake. So there's a lot about the snake reproductive biology that we don't know about yet. This makes me very sad. I'm hoping that there's a live one in there somewhere and not just a bunch of slugs. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hook her out, which is not going to make her happy. She's been off feed for a long time and just went through the whole birthing process, so she is not going to receive my bothering her. Hello, girlie. I know I've been very worried about you. We call her a Green Rocket because if I introduced food, you know, she would come flying out of the cage to grab it. Hi. Yeah. So I haven't been really bothering her. I didn't know what the problem was, but she wasn't interested in food, so you know, I wasn't forcing the issue. I would offer her food. If she reacted and struck, I would, you know, gladly let her have it. She would strike and hold all the time. And you know, this is the most activity we've seen out of her in months. So, you know, she's not going to be terribly happy. Lori, please step back because I'm going to put her in. Come on, girl, I'm sorry. I really don't want to disturb you, but I have to. Oh, you're not going to let me either, are you? Because I have to, right now, sticking my hand in the cage and trying to get any of those ova out would be very, very bad. Oh, come on, don't make me do nasty things to you like at the Gentle Giants, but you have to come out. And because I'm not going to leave those in there, and if there's a baby in there, I want the baby, I want the baby to be okay. All right, well, there we go. Boy, she's slender now. Oop. All right, so you do that. Oh. Maybe I should have used something else.
Yep.
Jeez. Snake hockey, arboreal snakes. God darn it. There. I am sorry, Rocket. All right, so you can watch her go frantic while I look for little green toxic worms in here. Hopefully I find the live one. And she dropped some of these slugs in the bushes, so we got to clean as much of that out as we can. I don't see anything in the bushes. Sorry, Rocky. I really hate when I have to bother my snakes, but you know, I need an answer to this question. Are there babies in there that are alive? If I just saw slugs and I didn't find a dead one, I would just say, okay, there's no reason really to look very far. These are just, you know, they're just slugs because she's never been with a male. However, finding that tells me that I need to do a complete investigation of the cage and make sure that there is not. Oh, I see some more embryos back here. Blah blah blah. All right, so I'm going to set that there. So I believe that to be free of live ones. Let's see what we got here. Come on. Please, one of you guys be alive. This is, that's another one that didn't quite make it, I think. And usually if you find them in the sack after this length of time, I mean, Lori called me early this morning and said this is what she found. Usually, if they don't get out, are you moving on your own, huh? Please be moving on your own, and it's not just my imagination. It is moving, so we need to be careful. Hopefully it is not malformed, but it doesn't look very lively. Hello. Alright, so we're going to leave that right there. I don't know if it's viable or not. I would think that it's barely alive, if that. Which makes me sad. Here's another. And the flies are already visiting this one. Oh, Rocket, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Jeez. And you can see these are almost identical to her, which also fosters my belief that this is indeed a parthenogenic birth. I'm being very careful because I don't want little baby to end up snapping on the end of my finger. And this one's a little malformed. Well, this is indeed quite sad. Oh, no, that's not malformed, that's umbilicus. But she indeed had some parthenogenic birth take place. How are you? You're still alive? Yeah, you're still alive.
It's moving, it's twitching.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether it will survive or...
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on. Lots of people have been bitten by dead snakes, so...
Yeah.
So we're gonna be really careful. But it's alive, but I don't think it's gonna be alive for very long. Well, that is sad, but we still have to continue and look around in here and hope that something made it. So I'm going to
This is very pathetic.
This does not make for a very cheery afternoon. And here's another one that didn't quite form correctly. You know, basically I decided that earlier this year, because of COVID and everything else, you know, I wasn't going to breed her this time around. And unfortunately, she
One
had...
hanging off the end there.
Yeah, she had other plans, so as was said in Jurassic Park, nature does find a way. So we're going to do a quick clean on the cage. This guy, I think, is not long for the world. You know, I'm sorry to be twitching you. We will put. I think it's mostly just, you know, muscle twitches post-mortem. So yep. All right. Well, we're gonna clean up the cage and put the rocket back in there. And hopefully she comes back on feed, and we can try to breed her another time. Boy, she lost a lot of weight. Maybe tomorrow she'll feed for me. So
She did look like she might be interested.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know.
So that, you know, I really hated to disturb her, but you know, we need to clean her cage because that will draw flies, and
Yeah.
and we know from experience those carrion flies will kill snakes.
Oh yeah.
So also we'll have to keep our eyes on all the other female insularis.
Girly.
even though I didn't breed them.
Yeah, we're gonna give you something to eat. Don't worry.
Alright, I've reconstituted her cage. Sadly, as you saw, there were no babies that were live born, or one was probably live, but just something was wrong with it. Parthenogenesis is not an exact science. It's really sort of how nature was to sort of be able to reproduce in an emergency, and unfortunately it didn't go quite right for Miss Rocket and her clones. So her cage is mostly cleaned. I didn't really do a thorough disinfection, but now she's ready to rocket her way back in there. So we'll just hook her back. Come on, girlie. Come on, sweetie. There you go. You're home. You're home. There you go. We'll feed you maybe later tomorrow. Just let her settle down. She's been through a lot. Very sad afternoon here at the lair.